Where the hell was Mulan, Disney? You made the special. You got Moana. You got Tiana. You got Rapunzel. Where the fuck was she? It's not
I mean, it
okay.
literally said
Zero out of 10.
the magic mirror literally said 5 warriors. How do you have 5 warriors and not have the Disney princess that basically save an entire nation?
0 out of 10. Worst thing we've ever reviewed on the channel. Come back with Mulan and try again. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Disney Plus Pals. It's been a long time since we've seen you, but I am still joined by Cher, and Jack is not here.
But it's my birthday.
It is Cher's birthday. Is today your birthday?
Yes.
I thought it was a different day. Okay.
Yeah, it's totally my birthday today.
Oh, so it's not actually your birthday. You've lied to
Right.
me.
Right.
You've betrayed my trust.
It's totally my birthday. I did not go to a jousting tournament or whatever with knights and everything, and LARPing is not a sex thing and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, you know, LARPing can be a sex thing, but it's not typically a sex thing, no.
And if anyone wondering, yes, I'm wearing a wig because I felt like wearing a wig today. I'm trying to be Ariel.
And in case anyone's wondering, I did not wear a wig today because I don't own wigs at all.
Also, please don't cancel me.
Because you're wearing a wig?
Because I'm wearing a red wig.
I'm gonna cancel you.
Don't cancel me.
I'm doing it right now.
No, I don't
How
want to be.
dare you have a color on your head? How dare your hair have color?
Y'all know why I'm saying please don't cancel me, right? Please don't cancel.
Well, Ariel is in this, so. God, I still hate all the shit that happened when she got casted as Ariel in the live action thing, especially because that. I didn't see the movie, but from what I hear, that hate was not really worth the movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's not good, but it's not like the worst thing I've ever seen. No, that goes to Mulan or Lion King.
Mulan's the only one I walked out on. I still haven't seen Little Mermaid, but I've heard Melissa McCarthy do Poor Unfortunate Souls, and she did fine, so I'm pleased about that.
Just beware of the scuttlebutt.
I've heard about this.
I love you, Lynn. I love you with Hamilton, In the Heights, and Encanto, but this was a mistake. This was a mistake. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. But speaking of Ariel, Ariel's kind of the main character of what we're here to review today, which is Lego Disney Princess Something About a Castle. What happened with the castle?
Quest. It's a castle quest.
Yeah, it's where Ariel, Snow White, Moana, Tiana, and Rapunzel end up in Beast's castle and have to fight Gaston, which I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the channel, but we kind of like it when the Disney characters cross over here. I've
The Disney princesses.
I've always been fascinated by the crossovers just because, like, these characters have their own stories and stuff, but we don't really get to see them interact, and you wonder, like, how would Moana interact with The Little Mermaid? How would Rapunzel react to Snow White? Although they change up Snow White a little in this,
Oh
but
yeah,
we'll talk about that.
Oh man,
We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But, like, with Kingdom Hearts, with that one Aladdin special where, like, fucking Hercules showed up, which still blows my mind that that happened.
Yeah, which, by the way, Disney, where is the Aladdin TV series? Why haven't you put it on Disney Plus yet?
I feel like it's coming. I feel like enough people are talking about it at this point
And
that it will
House
come.
of Mouse. And House of Mouse.
House of Mouse ain't on there?
No, it's not.
I thought it was.
Nope.
Well, today we are here to talk about the Lego side of things once again. We are also no strangers to Legos here. Unfortunately, Jack is not here, even though he's super into Legos. You have failed us this day, Jack. You and your Lego love have failed us.
You could have dressed up as a Disney character today.
You could have dressed up as a Lego character today. You could have been a Lego brick. That would have been a great cosplay, just like a blue brick. You could make it out of the box. It'd be easy. But here is my review of the special, and it's not very long, but we're gonna go into a little more depth. I think this was really fun, and I think kids are gonna fucking love it. Like, there were a couple good jokes. It was funny. It's really cool to see the princesses interact with each other and with Gaston. I
Yeah.
think my favorite interaction was probably Moana and Ariel, just
Well,
because, like,
it makes sense though, because
mm-hmm,
I've seen so many fan art of people with Ariel and Moana together being really good friends. Because Ariel is a mermaid, and Moana likes to go wave finding or whatever
mm-hmm.
out in the sea in the ocean. So it makes sense for them to be together.
Yeah, I, I think I agree with that, and it they don't have like a ton going on really. Like, what it is, let's break down the story a little. So I'm kind of a little hazy on the beginning, but some background. I think we start with Gaston in Beast's castle, which immediately was confusing, but like he's kidnapped Triton somehow. He has a bunch of other Disney items. Somehow, you can even see the genie lamp in the background. And apparently, he's been going to every kingdom and like taking it over. Although he hasn't really done that with any of these princesses' kingdoms, to my knowledge.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how did he take over like China,
Mm-hmm.
Kumandra,
He,
Arendelle,
he had to go for Agrabah because he has the lamp, so he
Agrabah.
had to go for Agrabah. How did he beat Genie, Aladdin, and Jasmine? That that might be a slight plot hole, but uh, we mostly focus on the princesses in this special, and there are some stakes, just a little bit, because like Gaston, I don't remember why. I don't remember why he needs to bring the princesses there. I think Triton like challenges him or something, and he's like, "Oh,
Yeah,
you're a
he
bitch."
challenges him for the
Mm.
trident.
Yeah, I think it's like an ego thing. What? Why can't he just pick up the trident though? Do they ever explain
It's
that?
probably the same rules when it came to Thor's hammer. Only the, you know, the I forgot how did that went again.
Uh, only he who is worthy can wield the powers of Thor. So if you're worthy, you can pick up Mjolnir, and if you can't, that fucker's not moving. I guess that's the same way with the trident, which fucking Gaston keeps calling a fork. Which, by the way, Gaston is voiced by Richard White, which is also not a stranger to this channel, because when we played King's Quest, he actually voiced my favorite character in that game, who is actually in an image. Let me point to that. The camera's reversed, so it's hard to point, but he's over here. You can see Whisper and Gaston flexing in front of him. Richard White's a really good voice actor, and when he played Whisper, I kept thinking he's doing a Gaston impression. So I'm really happy he's playing Gaston in this.
Oh, so it's not. Wait, who was the original voice of Gaston?
Was
Because
it
I
Richard White? Because for some reason, I guess people can tell me if I'm crazy on this. Someone told me it was Hugh Jackman in the original Beauty and the Beast. I've
no,
always
I
felt like
know
that's wrong.
it was not Hugh Jackman.
I'm gonna check. Beauty and the
It,
Beast.
it was not Hugh Jackman, but we do have the original voices except for Snow White. So Jodie Benson, Ariel, Mandy Moore, Rapunzel, Anika Ambrose, Tiana, Alihi Carvalho,
Hmm.
Moana, and I forgot who voices Snow White.
Oh, hey, it was Richard White in the original, actually. So
Oh,
that's my mistake. And yeah, he. I guess Whisper is just straight up a Gaston impression. Then I guess when he got in the game, they were like, "We want you to do Gaston a second time." Ay ay ay. Christopher Lloyd's in that game too. It's got a really good cast.
nice.
Oh yeah.
And Jim Cummings is King Triton. I don't think he was the original voice because I think the guy who did Triton passed away.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Tom Kenny's in King's Quest too. Wow, I'm realizing how stacked that cast was. But yeah, so the reason things get risky is after the challenge happens and the magic mirror brings all the princesses there, which by the way, the magic mirror's voice sounded pretty good to me.
I think it's Corey Burton. I
Mhm.
think that's who it is.
You're not gonna beat the original, but like this sounded pretty good. I liked it.
I feel like the original Snow White was almost like 100 years ago.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. But like the voice of that mirror and that just it's so good. I have no idea how they're gonna do that in the remake. But uh,
Oh, yeah.
so the reason there are stakes is Gaston is a dick and decides, oh, if the princesses aren't going to like do the thing I'm telling them to do, I'm gonna kill Trident. And he like froze the Trident. He froze something. Is it the Trident? He froze something at the glass.
No, I think it was one of his crossbow.
Oh, okay, shot an arrow at
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And water is slowly pouring out the entire time. So, yeah, in this Lego special made for kids, Trident almost dies. In fact, I think he does kind of die at the end. Do they save him with water? Like, they say, we're too late. And then they save him.
They save them with the power of friendship and love, because Disney princesses are My Little Pony. Friendship is magic.
Which is weird because they have a character there with, like, life giving hair and should really be using that. Like, friendship is good. Friendship is awesome. Fuck friendship. You have magic hair.
Why is Rapunzel my favorite Disney princess again?
I don't know. Rapunzel is pretty good in this, though. So, the thing is, they gotta go in the house and they gotta get these challenges, I guess. It's a little confusing. The plot is not why we're here. We're here to watch the characters interact. And they need to find the magical flower from Rapunzel, and they need to find the magic genie lamp from Agrabah. So,
The
I,
magic carpet.
oh, the carpet. My bad. Yeah, confusing my stuff. So I think what happens is like they go into each separate rooms. They find they get the advice to like look into their selves, and for some reason for Ariel that translates into magically finding a key in her hair that just happens to open these doors.
No, it's not a key. It's a scooter butt.
Oh yeah, Ariel's also doing that thing where she calls like human stuff other things the entire time. I do like when she referred to footprints as foot spots. That kind
What
of got me.
spots?
It was either foot spots or footholes.
I think it was footholes. Let's look at the footholes.
Either way, it was funny. It got a giggle
Oh,
out of
and
me.
then the tuba boom. The
Mm.
tuba. Boom.
So Moana and Ariel end up going in this room together, and they find the closet. What would you call this character? The
I
dresser
think
from.
I think it's like a wardrobe or something.
Yeah. The wardrobe from Beauty and the Beast is there. And she's like, oh, for some reason, I'm taking part in this riddle bullshit too. I'm helping Gaston, I guess, for some reason. Anyways, good luck finding the shit. So they find out with the inside yourself thing. They gotta open the dresser. And then they end up in the ocean? I don't know which ocean. We don't run into a ton. You could make the argument they might be in Neverland because I was about to call him Professor. Mr. Smee shows up. Hey, look, Mr. Smee got his college degree. He's a professor now, and I'm gonna respect that. So Professor Smee gets a brief cameo during Ariel and Moana's section. Let's talk about them first. So they have to get the carpet. They find a cave they think it's in, which why would it be in that cave? That's not the Cave of Wonders. Why is the carpet in that cave? Also, why are there pirates there? There are pirates hanging out. I have a conspiracy that Aladdin got bored in Agrabah and took the magic carpet up to Neverland, and then he ended up losing it. Where's Aladdin? We gotta find him. He's probably stuck in Neverland. That's my conspiracy theory, Cher. What did you think about Ariel and Moana's like plot when they have to go in the water and Gaston starts fucking it up with the lightning and the waves when they encounter the pirates? How'd you feel about their section?
I'm just happy they're talking to each other.
It is fun.
They say each other's names.
It's really neat that, like, of all the characters, like, Ariel's kind of got a thing in this where she's like, oh, I don't want you to help me. And all the other characters want to help because it's the right thing to do. But Moana specifically says, oh, I want to protect the ocean. I want to protect every creature in it. So, like, yeah, I'm gonna help Triton. Of course I am. And I thought that was cool as shit. Like, it kind of connects Moana directly into Ariel's lore, which is kind of neat. That was a smart thing the writers did. The pirate stuff was a little strange, though, just a little bit, because, like, they're really building up like it's gonna be Captain Hook. They keep hinting that it's gonna be Captain Hook, because one of the pirates makes a joke, and it's a really dumb joke. It's, how does Captain Hook pick his nose? Very carefully. That's not a joke. It's not good. You're bad, pirate. You're bad at comedy. But when we finally see the captain, and once again, Mr. Smee is on the ship, so apparently Mr. Smee abandoned Captain Hook for a new pirate altogether, because the captain is not Captain Hook. In a bit of a plot twist, it's Iago.
I know.
I wasn't expecting him
So
to show up.
Wait. I thought Iago turned good. He's bad again?
Iago's always been kind of selfish, you know? Like, maybe he's doing this for money. Like, maybe he wants money. And he doesn't know them. He's friends with Aladdin and Jasmine now. He doesn't know these people. He just knows they're on his pirate ship. And maybe they were good pirates. Like, maybe they found a random cave and they were like, oh, hey, there's treasure here, let's take it. Now, how did Iago meet these people? I have no idea. And who the dude is that Iago is riding the shoulder of, I also have no idea. But he's also missing a hand. He has a hook too. So Captain Hook's less special.
Yeah. All I have to say is I miss Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah, I noticed it too. The guy did a fine job, but you know, it's gonna be really hard to replace that voice.
I miss him.
Bark. The dogs are barking in the name of Godfrey. So Ariel and Moana fire a cannon through the bottom of the fucking ship, and
Wait. It's not a cannon. It's a tuba boom.
oh, it is a tuba boom. That's right. So they get the tuba boom. They blow up the ship. It doesn't really sink, does it? They kind of just put a hole in the side. But they get out, they get the carpet, they get away, and then they're teleported back. Meanwhile, while all that's happening, Tiana, Snow White, and Rapunzel have their own story. Now, there's something we haven't really talked about with Snow White yet, and that is the fact that in this entire special, she's fucking bloodthirsty.
She's like, I'm telling you, her sweet demeanor underneath that is something deadly and aggressive. And first, I want to make apology to Snow White, because I am trying to do a Disney princess, at least the official Disney princess tier list or some type of ranking. I apologize for saying that you were one of the worst Disney princesses. And yeah, thanks to this special, you're going to be bumped up a few notches.
Because she likes murder.
I have an axe!
Yeah, that keeps... By the way, is the voice actress the person who plays Minnie Mouse? Because they sound almost exactly the same. I'd honestly be surprised if it wasn't. They sound exact.
It sounds very similar. I'm wondering if this is the same voice that did the Wreck-It Ralph Snow White. Probably.
But... So, besides her actively holding an axe towards the magic mirror, and her being very willing to kill, from what we've seen, like, all the characters kind of have a little bit of a gimmick. Like, when Ariel goes in the water, she turns into the mermaid. Obviously, Moana has her water powers, Rapunzel has her hair. Tiana, I don't think Tiana has like a power she uses or anything, but like she's very good at like talking to the other characters and like making the friendship thing happen. Um,
Tiana is important too.
mm, um, with Snow White, it's really just she has the axe. Eventually, they dive into the fact that she can talk into animals, and I think they took forever to do that, but it's mostly the axe. Like that's her main thing, and her voice is like very like it's Minnie Mouse's voice, so it's very upbeat and it's very like nice and pleasant to hear. So when
Yeah,
she's talking about murdering and hitting people with an axe, it's hilarious.
yeah.
It really works, especially because it's a Lego. It's a cute little toy that's talking about killing people.
Oh yeah, we're in the dark forest. Beware of the man-eating spiders.
And remember, the spiders don't actually eat you. They just kind of salivate on you, I guess, and then let you go. Which creeped out, I believe, Rapunzel even more than them eating you.
Yeah.
But they are in the... I was about to call it the Forbidden Forest from Harry Potter. Honestly, I played the Lego Harry Potter game. It kind of looks like the Forbidden Forest. But it's like the forest from Snow White, I believe. And they're looking for... What are they looking for? They're looking for the flower from Rapunzel. Because apparently that's somewhere in this forest.
Must say, hopefully Gothel isn't looking for it.
I mean, if we're following the canon, Gothel's dead.
Well, how is Gaston alive then?
I don't know. Well, you could kind of make the argument that Gaston didn't die because he fell. Like, you don't actually see his body. So,
But we saw skulls in his eyes.
yeah, maybe he thought he was gonna die and then skulls appeared. Who knows? I have no clue, but like they do reference the other movies, and they kind of seem to imply that Captain Hook is gone, with Smee being with another pirate. So I have to assume all the movies happened.
And then we meet one of the most adorable little characters,
Oh yeah, Flower shows up.
Flower from Bambi, which I know it's not the original voice actor because again that movie's almost like 100 years old, but like his voice is so cute. Oh my gosh. You found the flower. I'm like, oh my god. I was literally like bawling my eyes out. I'm like, it's a child, and it sounds so cute. Protect him at once. Protect this child. Don't let anything happen to him. Please do not let anything happen to him.
Flower doesn't do a ton for the plot, but it's nice to see him. It's a fun cameo. It's kind of like how Iago showed up and we weren't expecting it. And there's technically one more cameo, I think, but like, it's kind of weird. We'll talk about it when we get there. But Flower guides them until they all get chased by wolves for a little bit, and there's like some comedic scenes with that. Specifically, they keep playing fetch with the wolves, but the wolves keep trying to eat them until Snow White finally remembers she has more than just the damn axe and starts talking to them and befriends them. They even have like a cuddle party. And this leads to what I believe is the funniest scene in the entire special. And it's very blink and you'll miss it. But when they're all riding the wolves, and there's 4 wolves, Rapunzel is on one, Tiana is on one, and Snow White is on one. And if you look in the back, Flower is riding on one too. He gets his own wolf. He's not with Snow White, which is what I would have assumed because at the end they kind of become friends. But like, he gets to ride a wolf, and it looks as hilarious as you're hoping. So, yeah, they get to the area where the flower is, and then all the trees come to life, because for a minute we gotta do Wizard of Oz. So, they get the flower. Unfortunately, Snow White does not get a chance to chop down the trees. I was really hoping...
But she does hit a C sharp.
She does. She sings to, like, fight them, which sucks, because I kind of wanted this to be where, like, the murder subplot pays off, and she just kind of goes nuts on these trees.
You know what it should have been? Remember Shrek the Third?
I think that would have been kind of funny, yeah.
Yeah. That the only good thing to happen to Shrek the Third.
Well, there's some good scenes in Shrek the Third. I like it. I don't hate Shrek the Third. But they get the flower, and then they're all teleported back to the mansion. They celebrate briefly, and then they, like, Ariel tries to get them to not go with her again because she wants to, like, for some reason they give Ariel, like, a slight arc of being like, it's my responsibility, I'll do all this. Even though, like, you know, if Gaston's taking over kingdoms and has all of these powerful items, which he does have the fairy godmother's magic wand. So
What is it with Disney and getting the fairy godmother's magic wand?
I think it's just the easiest thing to give a random villain power, you know? Like, if the evil stepmother gets the wand, you get the coolest Cinderella movie. If Gaston gets the wand, you get this. It makes sense. So, they go to the
Good
last
movie.
door. What was it?
No, I said that is a good movie though.
Fucking Cinderella Tales in Time, or whatever it's called, is
Yeah,
it's
Twisted
epic.
Time.
Like it's
Yep.
it's legitimately really cool, and like Cinderella has to fight hard to get back to the prince. You really get into their relationship in that one. We got to review that one day.
Foreshadowing.
But uh, they go to the last door, and Gaston has already hinted that like he's been talking to Trident this whole time. Like every now and then we'll cut back to Gaston and Trident hanging out, and he mentioned that like the first test was like, oh, it's a test of courage, oh, it's a test of bravery and all that, resilience. But then the third test isn't a test, it's just a death trap. So the third test is they appear in are they in Sleeping Beauty's world? Like with all the thorns and the briars and stuff?
I think that makes sense, seeing how we have a magical dragon
Mm-hmm.
breathing green fire.
Well, they all get separated because of the thorns, and then each character has to, like, kind of look inside of themselves to figure out how to get out of it. Like,
I believe I'm a Disney princess.
some of them are a little silly. Like, I remember Snow White's being like, I have an axe, and that's, like, her big motivation, I guess, to go forward. But Rapunzel's ended up being kind of good, actually, where she talks about, like, how she feels captive by the thorns, and then she thinks about Gothel, and then she's like, I am not going to be captive again, and then she starts breaking down the thorns.
Yeah, and then like Tiana's is very sassy. She's like, I haven't been, I have come all this way to be stuck in this maze.
Is Tiana the one who figures out the thing with the sap later?
Yep.
Okay. So Tiana does help towards the end. Like, they kind of have cool scenes. Tiana doesn't really get her own scene, but she's still helping out. It would have been cool to see, like, more from Princess and the Frog show up, especially because, like, I'm just gonna say it. I think she has the best song of any of these princesses in her movie. I think Friends on the Other Side. Maybe some of the ones from Tangled are better, but for me, Friends on the Other Side is, like, one of the best villain songs ever made. But Tiana gets through the thorns. They all get through. They reconvene when Ariel starts singing, and for some reason, even though it's more they're standing up for themselves, so the thorns are disappearing. When Ariel starts singing, they start disappearing. Because magic, and it's for kids, so you shouldn't question it.
Friendship is magic.
And they see the door and they're ready to leave. But uh-oh, Gaston is here, and he's riding on the back of Maleficent. I think it's Maleficent.
Well, he calls her Maleficent.
He does. Well, she doesn't talk. She doesn't say anything.
Well, because she's a dragon.
She can still talk when she's a dragon. She does in Phantasmic. I mean, that's not the official movie for the record, but she does in Phantasmic, so I could see them letting the dragon talk. And I think she might in Kingdom Hearts as well, if I'm remembering correctly, but I might be wrong about that. But yeah, Maleficent shows up. She doesn't really say anything. They even gave Smee a line. That's a little sad. Maleficent's here, but she doesn't do much. You think they're gonna fight the dragon, and I was hoping this is when Snow White was gonna use her axe. But
I was just saying, like, how did you do this to my favorite Disney villain?
But no, she's got like her wing screwed up, and they're like, "Oh, we have to help this dragon," which that's sweet of them, but like that dragon's gonna go back to that kingdom and start fucking up Sleeping Beauty again. Like it's not good that they're helping the dragon. They potentially, if we're following the movie, maybe some of those injuries were from when she fought the prince at the end of Sleeping Beauty, and they might have just saved Maleficent's life and made it where she can continue to cause trouble. But, it doesn't matter. The show's almost over. Gaston gets upset at them for trying to help the dragon instead of fighting the dragon, so Maleficent, like, pushes him over, I guess, and the magic wand goes flying. Which, by the way, does the fairy godmother just not have her wand now? Is that just gone forever? And also, Maleficent was right next to that shit. Maleficent might walk up and get that. I'm just saying, is this a fun little Lego special? Or is this the prequel for Maleficent's big comeback where she kills all of them? Except for Snow White, who gets vengeance with her mighty axe. But, yeah, Gaston is defeated. They go back to save Trident. And, oh no, Trident's dead. And then, no, he's not. But the thing they end on, and this is why I think maybe this was kind of set up as a prequel or something, like maybe this was like a pilot for a show of some sort, is at the end, the magic mirror reveals that the real reason they were brought there was because the castle is for them. And they each have their own rooms, and by the way, I know this is of a very specific interest, but like, I always really like it in media when characters have their own specific personalized rooms that kind of pull off of their personality. Like, I've really liked that with Jimmy Neutron. I've really liked that with a lot of the shows I watched when I was a kid. So, seeing it here, kind of cool, not gonna lie. Seeing Sebastian has a Lego. Didn't need that shit at all. Sebastian the Crab shows up for a very brief cameo. He doesn't have any lines.
Where's Flounder?
He's in the ocean. He can't be there. He'll be dead.
He could be in a fishbowl.
Ariel, it is so good to see you. And Flounder is here. Oh, he fell on the floor. Oh, he died. He's dead. Fish cannot breathe air. I'm sorry. I'm glad you beat the dragon. I'm sorry. Enjoy your new room.
Yeah, it was pretty. I mean, obviously, there's some things that don't make sense, but for like a 45-minute special, I say it was pretty decent.
Yeah, it's made for like really little kids. I'm not gonna pick on it too much. And for the record, for kids, it's absolutely wonderful. Like I feel like kids are really gonna like this. But I'm 25 and I'm here to make fun of shit. You know what this is. I'm here to make fun. And
today's my birthday.
And I will also say that, like, this might be controversial, but I don't care. I think the crab in this, I think Sebastian in this looks worse than the live-action movie. Because here's the thing. In the live-action movie, he's a real-life crab, and that looks kind of creepy when he's talking and stuff. But, like, it's a real-life crab. I can accept that. In this, he's big. Like, he's not tiny. He's not gonna fit in your hand. He's like as big as a dog in this, and his teeth are huge, and his head is fucking huge, and when he smiles, he looks creepy. That thing's gonna eat me. I don't want to deal with Sebastian in this. A real-life crab? Whatever. If I don't like him, I can eat him. This one's gonna eat me.
Oh, man. Okay.
So yeah, they get all their rooms, and
they live happily ever after.
They kind of have this moment of looking off in the distance, and it's also established that there's like a door in each of their rooms, and if they go in it, they can go back home at any point. So that's kind of neat. That means that they have this place where they can all live if they want to, and they can go back home whenever. They could go on adventures and stuff. That'd be really cool for a show. And plus, like, we're missing Mulan. We're missing Belle.
And
Maybe we get those
Jasmine,
characters coming back.
Rora, Pocahontas,
Also,
Merida,
in terms of the
Rocket.
lore, it's kind of weird with Beauty and the Beast, too, because they do a lot to imply that this takes place after Beauty and the Beast. Like, the fact that Gaston is even in the castle kind of implies it has to be after Beast and Belle left the castle. But why is the dresser there if the events of Beauty and the Beast have already happened?
Maybe the enchantress didn't like the wardrobe and she turned her back to the one.
You have passed the test and I will restore you, except for that bitch wardrobe you have upstairs. Fuck her. Cogsworth, you're fine. Lumiere, you're fine. Mrs. Potts, you're fine. Not that fucker upstairs. Any of you try to save her, you're all back to furniture. The dogs agree. But yeah, that is the Lego Disney Princess special, essentially. What do you think of it, Cher?
Oh gosh, I gotta make this quick because the dogs are barking, whatever. No, but it was great. I liked it. I want to see the rest of the Disney princesses. I mean, we had that was my favorite part of Ralph Breaks the Internet, and the only reason why I wanted to watch Ralph Breaks the Internet was the Disney princesses interacting with each other. You know, but 5 is good. I want more. Maybe if they make a sequel, we can get some appearances of the other Disney princesses. I would be fine with that.
When you said the other Disney princesses, I like picked up my Mulan statue and showed it. But like, I didn't realize this when I did it. I had really bad resting bitch face when I did that. So I looked in the camera and I was just very angrily holding my Mulan statue. It looked hilarious. But
I mean, that would be pretty interesting to see a interaction with like Mulan and maybe like Merida, Aurora, Belle, and Jasmine. I don't know.
I think Jasmine and Mulan would really get along because like Jasmine's very fighter focused too, and I think like there's some interesting discussions to have with this. Like honestly, I'm gonna be real. I do like that this happened, but the idea of like a crossover with the Disney princesses that's taken a bit more seriously is also kind of interesting to me. Like, imagine if we got a show that took itself about as seriously as the Rapunzel animated series does, with all of the princesses hanging out. I think that could be really cool for them to fight villains, for them to encounter different Disney characters every episode. Honestly,
Yeah, so when we're gonna get that special where we have Rapunzel interacting with the Frozen characters, seeing how Olaf personally knows Rapunzel?
Didn't Rapunzel and Flynn show up for the coronation?
Too? Yeah, but they didn't like talk to them. I want them to talk.
Oh yeah, it blows my mind that like Elsa and Anna aren't in this at all.
Well, because they're too important.
Well, I don't even think there's a single reference to them, is there? If there was, I didn't see it.
I mean, I don't remember seeing like any of the other Frozen people or like a sign or a symbol or something.
Well, Frozen is kind of like how do I phrase this? When I was growing up, Mulan was like kind of talked about a whole bunch because she had one of the bigger movies, and that happened with Rapunzel too, and then Rapunzel became the big princess of the moment for a little bit. But when Elsa and Anna showed up, they took over everything for a little bit. Like, if you fought Disney Princess, you fought of Elsa and Anna because of how many times you heard Let It Go.
Especially Elsa. I mean, I feel like Elsa's a little bit more popular than Anna, but, you know.
Well, she's the one who gets the cool powers. I think Anna has the cooler personality. Elsa has the cooler design.
Yeah. Which, I know they're doing Frozen 3. So, yay.
I wonder what that's gonna be, man. But...
Can we have Rapunzel in Frozen 3?
I liked it a lot. It was cool to see them all interact. I would have liked more. I think theoretically some of the problems I had in this would actually be solved by making a show. Like, I didn't think Tiana got a ton to do. Well, let's do a whole episode of a show about Tiana. It would be really cool to see more Disney characters from their stories. Like, I'd love to see Flynn interact with a character like Gaston. That's a neat idea to me. And plus, since they use Gaston as the villain in here, that opens the door for other villains. Like, maybe we could fight Jafar and have an episode where Jasmine shows up. Maybe we could figure out some stuff going on in China and we gotta go help Mulan. It'd be neat. I honestly do hope this gets a show.
Or like another special. I mean.
Oh, at the very least. But yeah, I guess if I'm to give it a ranking, and let me just say, because I have actually gotten comments about this, with stuff that is made for kids, I do kind of rate on a curve a little bit. Like, I'm not going to be as brutal with something like Bluey as I am with something like the MCU. Like, the MCU is a narrative where, like, I'm taking it very seriously, and it's trying to accomplish different things than something like this is trying to accomplish. And that is why I'm going to give this, for what it is, an 8. I think it's really good. Do I think it's an 8 as a pure form of art? No. I guess if I was rating it as art, it would be 5. But for what it is, it's really fun, it's really cool, and it's always going to be neat to see these characters that don't get a ton of interacting. Even if they are a little different and some of them are a bit more headstrong and think they can take everything on all by themselves.
Or Snow White having an axe.
Snow White's got some issues she's going to have to work out in the show. But I give it an 8. I think it was fine, really good for what it was, and it made me laugh a couple times. The Ago thing really threw me off, though, because I was, like, really ready for Captain Hook, and I was... such a plot twist.
Yeah.
Cher, how about you? Rankings and final thoughts?
Well, it is my birthday, and I love Disney princesses. You can clearly see through my room, even though I have this giant pillow thing. Without this giant pillow thing, I have a whole line of Disney princesses in the back. You kind of see some of them right there.
Let me pull up your camera just a little so they can see them better. There they are. You moved your arm and perfectly blocked them. There they are now, though. You can see them.
There they are. There's Mulan's right here. Right.
But what is your ranking and final thoughts?
I mean, I was also going to give it an 8 because, I mean, obviously it's not perfect, but I actually really enjoyed it. Loved the interaction with all the Disney princesses, and Gaston was actually not too bad of a Disney villain. I was confused at first, seeing how there was, like, Belle wasn't in it, but, like, okay.
It was weird to see Gaston being the villain, but I think it kind of makes sense because he kind of turns it into a boys versus girls thing towards the end. Like, he even says, like, oh, I'll defeat those girls, or something like that, and Gaston would be the character to be, like, misogynistic like that, so, like, it makes sense. You're gonna get a group of, like, princesses together. Might as well make them fight Gaston. And hey, it's always good to see Gaston be put in his place. Plus, he's a villain, but you can make him cartoony without breaking his character. Whereas with some of them, you can't really do that. Like, I can't really see Judge Frollo having these conversations with Triton.
I mean, I can kind of see, like, maybe if, like, Hades came, be like, yay.
Oh yeah, Hades would have been another really good one for this, but
I mean,
I will accept.
Says he would come back to do Hades anytime, so
He loves the character, man.
let's bring him back, please.
Well, yeah, that's pretty much all I have for Lego Disney Princesses. Cher, you got anything to plug before we begin to wrap up?
It's my birthday. I know I said it a bunch of times, but it's my birthday.
How old is you? How old be the you?
2-3.
You're 2 and 3 at the same time? That's not how aging works.
Yeah, 2, 3.
You're 23.
Sure, let's say it that way.
Happy birthday,
But
lady.
yay, thank you. But so Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Uh, I guess I'll give it to Neil, so he'll plug it in somewhere in the description.
Yeah,
Um,
it's over there. Yeah, over there. Over there. Over there.
so I'm supposed to be starting school next week, but I think I'll probably be able to do like tier or like rankings, not so much like my thoughts on or like top tens, but probably more tier list. That's what I can probably do. It's just the easiest thing to do. I tried doing song associations with Cher, where I would pick out a word and find a song that's associated, but that video bombed because no one wanted to watch me sing horribly.
I have one of those too. One of
so
those I've buried.
So I'm not gonna do that anymore, and I'll just do tier list because that seems to be working out so far. I mean, right now I'm doing the Masked Singer. I still gotta do part 2 of the guys, and then season 10 comes out. Oh, the U.S. version, of course, but I'll do that. I might do something with Strawberry Shortcake because that's who I'm gonna be for Halloween. So
Nice.
maybe I might do something like that, and I'm probably either at the end of the year or maybe next year. I might give my thoughts on The Little Mermaid and
Mm.
talk about the controversy of The Little Mermaid.
I wish you luck.
I might get a lot of heat and a lot of hate. Then I am prepared to take on you poor unfortunate souls. So yeah.
I am the Dr. Neiltopus. You can find me at twitch.tv/Dr. Neiltopus. I'm also here on this channel making Uno videos and making Wheel of Fortune videos and making other videos.
I love your Uno videos. They're so hilarious. I haven't played Uno in like ever.
We have a lot of fun with those, and I am lucky enough to have some very talented friends who are very funny. Uh, But there is one more thing to discuss before we end, and two things actually. Number one, we're gonna cover Ahsoka. We're gonna be covering it every week, probably on Sunday. It's sounding like Sunday, so uh, we'll see. Still up in the air. We'll figure it out. Um, but also, we're opening the show up a little bit. Disney Plus Pals is no longer the only thing happening here. You can call it another show if you want to, I guess, but I kind of view it as the same thing because it's going to be this same format, but instead we're opening it up to Netflix. We want to look at stuff on there. We want to review other things. And you know what? We've been doing the Disney thing for a while. It's really cool. There's some good stuff on Disney Plus. We're having fun with it. Obviously, the next thing is Ahsoka. But it'd be neat to check out some other things, especially because Jack has not seen The Good Place, and we can expose him to that shit.
Dude, that show is awesome.
Oh yeah, you
Oh,
better
The Good-
believe I'm covering that at some point.
Oh my gosh, yes. I love The Good Place. Oh my god.
There's a lot of good stuff on there. You brought up
I've been watching
Cuphead.
like Justice League Unlimited and Cuphead. Cuphead. Oh my
I,
god.
I've been rewatching Total Drama. I've been watching Total Drama Island, Action, and all the other ones.
Yeah, I've been rewatching some of the Nickelodeon shows and like Powerpuff Girls on Cartoon Network and
They got Power Ranger stuff on there too.
yeah. Oh, that's right. The new Power Ranger special that came out this year. It was
Have you
so
seen that? It's good. I love it.
good. It's good. I kind of cried a little bit, but it was good.
I got it. As a Power Rangers fan, there will always be something special about seeing them all come back. Not all of them, but seeing a lot of them.
I was kind of in tears. I was legit crying when I watched that.
It's a good special. It's really good. I hope they make more. Billy's going to be in the new season of the show, so
Yay!
I'm excited. But
I mean,
yeah.
wait, our group is kind of like Power Rangers.
Well, what color ranger would you be?
Either yellow or pink.
I would have to be the Green Ranger because green's my whole thing. So we got to figure out who the Red Ranger is. It's either Mel or Jack.
Oh, Mel. You
There's
haven't
no
heard from me.
reality where Mel's the Pink Ranger.
No, I could take that role. I don't mind doing pink.
Well, Mel might be okay with being the Yellow Ranger. I could see Jack being the Blue Ranger, or the Red Ranger.
Who's the Red Ranger? That's the question.
The Red Ranger is my cat Mortis. Mortis is our leader.
But anyways, thanks for watching, everybody.
And remember, if you encounter a random strange man with a magic wand in a random strange mansion with a giant purple bubble around it, don't let him kill your dad. Bye.
Yeah, also Snow White is a badass.
I wouldn't call a mass murderer a badass. Or maybe I would.